Hi everybody. So for today's Movie Monday, I have a couple of different miniseries that I want to review. The first one is Great Expectations that came out in 2011, and it stars Douglas Booth, David Suchet, Gillian Anderson is the quite creepy Miss Havisham. And I would like to say that off the bat, I love BBC miniseries, and Charles Dickens, it was like he's amazing. His novels are amazing as miniseries. And what made me want to watch this version is that they are actually making a movie of Great Expectations, and Helena Bonham Carter is going to be Miss Havisham. So Gillian Anderson and Helena Bonham Carter are obviously two very different actresses, so I just thought, let me see what this one has to offer. And it was different. I read Great Expectations. I mean, it was like a great illustrated classic edition when I was in elementary school. So, I mean, it wasn't all of the language and, the entirety of the storyline, but it was enough to move, so that someone in elementary school could understand it. And, I honestly don't think I imagined Miss Havisham as Gillian Anderson played her. Gillian Anderson is a very small woman. She's like 5 foot. And so when she plays Miss Havisham, she's very small. She's very, bent over. She's wearing her raggedy wedding dress. She looks like a ghost, literally. I mean, she's pale and her hair is powdered white, and I mean, she looks like a ghost, and she talks in this very sort of high-pitched, girly voice. And so she was a different kind of a Miss Havisham than I would have expected, just having, from my memories of the book. Pip, played by Douglas Booth, was a really... Douglas Booth is beautiful, so there's that. But he's also... I think that he was really good for the part of Pip. He was really able to play like his yearning for Estella and his frustration with his lot in life. I think that was really good. It's of course visually stunning because it's set. Pip's home country is, I think, Kent, so it's very atmospheric. It's the marshes and stuff like that. So it was, but having said all of that, I only feel okay about it. It didn't feel inspired. It didn't have any sense of, like Bleak House, which also starred Gillian Anderson, was very good, just epic almost in a way. And I don't know if it's just the, material of Great Expectations, but I didn't feel swept away in it like I was when I watched Bleak House. I mean, one is a longer novel than the other. I don't know, but I would say I would give Great Expectations, done in 2011, like a 3 out of 5 stars. The costuming is great. The acting is amazing. I don't know if I would have picked the same actresses to play Miss Havisham and Estella. I think that the woman who played Estella was very, very beautiful. Let me find out what her name was real fast. She was Vanessa Kirby, and she's stunning. But I don't know, she just seemed too beautiful in a way to play Estella. She seemed like she didn't seem cruel, and Estella is supposed to seem that way. So that's another reason why it just gets 3 out of 5 stars. It's I think the script is very good. I think the cinematography was good. Costumes were amazing, but the choices for Estella and Miss Havisham kind of meh. So then the next miniseries that I watched was Parade's End, and that stars the amazing, the wonderful Benedict Cumberbatch. And it tells the story of the Tidgeon family. Christopher Tidgeon, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, marries this very beautiful woman, but she's also fairly promiscuous. And Parade's End is based on a series of books by Ford Madox Ford. And I didn't know that because I didn't do my research, and you should always do your research. And otherwise, I would have waited, because I think it's important to read the book first before you see any kind of film adaptation, whether it's TV or movie. But anyway, I did. It is based on a series of novels by Ford Madox Ford, and Sylvia is Christopher Tidgen's wife, and she's fairly promiscuous, and at the very beginning of the series runs off, and that kind of sets the tone for their entire marriage. Like, she's been frustrated with Christopher because she can't get any passion out of him, and the only reason Christopher married her, per the miniseries, is because she calls him up and is like, I'm pregnant, and she didn't know if the child was Christopher's or this other man's that she was having an affair with, but Christopher is the kind of person who always does the right thing, and so sorry, my hair's distracting me, so he marries her, and things were going okay, but she just gets so frustrated with him, he's like typical stiff upper lip British gentleman, and she is just very passionate. She's very tempestuous, and gets frustrated and leaves him. But then she gets bored with her lover and asks to be taken back, and he takes her back. But it's like, it was just for society's sake. It was for the sake of their child. And Christopher, in the meantime, met this young lady named Valentine, who's just really smart, and she's really sweet, and she's everything that Sylvia is not. And they do not have an affair, but they do. Valentine is more of a progressive. Like, if you think about it, Christopher is more traditional, and Valentine is much more modern. She's in for women's rights, and this takes place just prior to World War I, all the way through World War I, and then a little bit after World War I. And so she's a pacifist and all these kind of things. They're polar opposites, but he's completely entranced by her. But he will not have an affair with her and cheat on his wife, because that's just not what he does. And so the whole series follows their kind of dramas throughout the years, and what happens to Christopher, who is such a man of his word and of his morals, and how he goes through the war and dealing with his wife and his feelings for Valentine and all this different stuff. And I really, really enjoyed it. It's, of course, amazing. The cinematography is stunning. The costumes, I love the fashion of the Edwardian era. It is simply gorgeous, and I wish we still wore things like that, except not with corsets. And the acting was, of course, amazing. It's so funny to me. I love Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor because he never plays the same role twice. I mean, I feel like with some actors, they just have one thing that they do. And like, no matter what role they're in, either you see, okay, so Brad Pitt, I think, is one of those people, one of those actors. He is always Tyler Durden, like, kind of, I mean, edgy or polished. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Brad Pitt always seems to play the same kind of role. And with Benedict Cumberbatch, he'll be Khan in Star Trek, and he'll be Sherlock Holmes in Sherlock, and he'll be Christopher Tidgens in Parade's End, and you will not be able to see elements of those other characters in him. He is a completely different person with every role that he acts, and that's how it should be, but not every actor does that. And it was just mind-boggling how he is, I swear, he's the master of like the single manly tear. Christopher Tidgens does that quite a lot. I mean, not that he's a sap, but he gets very emotional about some things, and I just think that he did an amazing job. And then the young lady who played Valentine was equally stunning. Just her yearning, and she was kind of she plateaus a little bit at a certain point, but at the end she just screams at Sylvia at the end, and it's just amazing, and I loved it a lot. So it's still kind of like a problematic kind of an ending. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but everything ends out well, and everyone ends up with who they're supposed to be, but how it gets that way is a little bit different. So I would give Parade's End 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to anyone who loves Benedict Cumberbatch or period drama or BBC miniseries, anything like that. So those are my Movie Monday reviews. I hope that you really enjoyed them, and I will see you next time. Bye!